Series Edition LLC with gunmetal crystal edge technology screens. One of the questions that we get a lot, and I told you that I've been in the business for quite some time. We've developed just about everything from gray paints to gunmetal technology to just about everything. And we go back 11 years when it comes back to gray screen paint products. Now, I've told you before that these screens have an extremely difficult time picking up color and contrast. Because again, when these screens first came out, the main goal was to pull a better contrast level and better color. It's never about white levels, ever. Mind you, at the end of the day, that we're going against the white screen with these gray screens. So anyway, when someone tells you that their gray product pulls a high white level higher than a gray screen, that's a major red flag. There's a lot of major red flags here because again, it's not possible. Number two, another problem is you do not want a screen generating an extremely high white level because that means the contrast is not there. We're at 4,300 lumens on a Christie, 4,300 lumen projector, 5 feet from the screen, and a gray and white screen can't see it. Let me show you my projector. This is my Christie, right here. We have the model number right there. I'll do 41. We're sitting in eco mode. This is the projector we use on the glass, so all the settings are at 0. So let me show you that. So come in, hit our menu button, and you'll see that our projector is on eco. We don't require to have projectors. There we go, eco mode. And let's go over and let's show you the projector settings. If I can find my button in the back, here we go. Because it's the one we use for the glass. There we are. Everything's in 0. So color's in 0, brightness in 0, contrast in 0. It's all in 0. And at 4,300 lumens, gray screen and white screen can't pick up. Now, as I said before, anyone, and I mean any gray screen paint out there, who makes a statement by saying that the gray paint we have here, that your product is better, or basically can take on the gray screen we have here, hey, you're more than welcome to make it. We give it away for free. Gray paints, at the end of the day, we consider to be a low. I'm not saying sorry for people who have these screens. I don't even disrespect, but it's an outdated product. It doesn't work at all. Period. And that's why the gray screen paints we made back in the day, we give them away for free because there's no use for them. So, you're more than welcome to make that product and take the Digital One Challenge and put it into your product and show that you could basically overpower the screen or, show us a huge difference between night and day as we're showing you right here. We also give this to a fellow by the name of Crow to do the same thing, but I doubt he's going to ever do it. But just to show you how outdated it is. We can have a projector sitting right up on top of the screen, and again, the gray screen can't see it. Slow color change out.
Getting that from YouTube.
Gather around, Wildcats. Here's the
Okay.
preview of our show. Musical 3.
I'm going to do a simple slow color change out. And you'll see as it starts to change colors that the white surface and the gray screen paint will have no reaction at all. Even at 4,300 lumens, sitting right up on top of the screen at 5 feet. There's no color change in the screens. As I told you before, when you're using projectors, even a projector at 1,000 lumens, there's light constantly being introduced to the screen, including the environment. So you see, nothing picks up. Skyworth food demonstration.
Getting that from YouTube.
Contrast level doesn't pick up in the background. Screens will pick up a white level. They can't register color. what makes the Cinemax, our dedicated black Cinemax, better than the gray Cinemax. We have 100% contrast pickup. Our products are all tested. We can register at 1,050 lumens inside. We've done 1,000 demonstrations outside. And our screens can pick up 100% color without the use of expensive projectors, not necessary with our technology. We have true ambient projection technology. Even though this is a very easy demonstration to do because the projector's sitting right on top of the screen. Excuse me. And as I told you before, the last thing you want a gray screen to do is generate too high of a white level. Because if it does, it can't read color. There you go. And just to back up my theory even more, the product we have there is free. The digital and crystal screen paint's free. Anyone who feels that their gray screen paint's going to do something different, then you have more than welcome to make the product. But while you're at it, we suggest you also add in 2 more elements, as in the Network Gray 773 and the Slip Silver microblend. And if you're refusing to do those demonstrations, then it's pointless. So this is the advancement our technology has over gray screen paints of any kind and a white surface versus our black technology. Now we've done this at 3600 lumen ultra shrift of 720p. 1,000 lumens distance at 17 feet, and at 5 feet at 43, and the gray and white screens don't register. Excuse me, I got tea at home, I got a cup of tea. What am I doing? Let's go over to the demonstration here. And I would love to see somebody turn my digital and crystal screen paint black and unwatchable. Excuse me, I'm definitely going to put that challenge up. Excuse me, give me something to drink. So I think what I'm going to do is, we're going to do something called a gray screen paint challenge. Again, we know it's never going to be met. It's usually what happens anyway. As in saying us against black, we did it already. We've done so many black on black demonstrations, it's not even funny. This is what really happens to a gray screen. And again, judging by my background in gray screen paint products, you can see that I have an extensive history in making gray screen paint products, so I know quite a lot about them. TLC 4K demonstrations.
Getting that from YouTube.
Not TLC. You're saying TLC. It's TLC. Or TCL. So yeah, standalone by itself, this stuff. Yeah. If you have a standalone, it shows that it actually somewhat works. You put it against our technology, which is a more advanced product, and we can show you where it's flawed. And let's pause that just for a minute here. We take our technology out of the equation altogether. And we'll just use the white screen here. This is what they call their standalone, because our technology is not in the picture. If my technology is in the picture, that's going to be washed out. Now, let's take this sort of about lens shift capabilities. Let's put it onto a white screen. Let's get a little closer for you guys. We don't need to be, but let me get you close. There you are. That's a white sheet of paper in the middle. Now, watch this. Red screen.
Getting that from YouTube.
Notice how the gray screen pulls a little better color, right? Than the white surface, right? But look at the difference when you switch over to true black technology. As I said before, you have to have black in order to see color. Because if it's working perfectly fine here, when we switch it over here, it should be working fine too also. And like I said, anyone who feels at the end of the day that that surface of digital screen paint is phony baloney, well, I'm going to post the ingredients for free. As a matter of fact, next demonstration, I'm going to put it under a challenge. And in that challenge, not only will you have to make this product and put it against your product live, I mean any gray screen paint, but you will also have to do network gray 773 and the slip silver. Reason why we added those in there because people are terrified of those two paints. And they can't do it, well, it just tells the truth. If a product has the ability to do what it claims it says it can do, you should be able to do that demonstration over again. One of the demonstrations we do a ton of is basically black on black and showing the difference between our products versus gray and white screens. We do them all the time constantly because you know why? We can back it up. But people who avoid those demonstrations, well, you know why. The reason why we put those challenges out, we know the challenges will never be met. It's just to show you that they can't do it. That's why we do them. There you go. 4,300 lumens, 0 settings, gray screen, white screen, can't see it. Only our black technology can read it. And for those who are saying, well, what about the product versus, we got those. You can go to my website, there's tons of demonstrations there. We're the ones that invented the black versus black. We made that. Certified, we've done that too already. We just did 1,000 projector. We just did a 3,600 lumen $60 ultra short throw. They don't pick up on gray screens. So I'm willing to tell you that when we do that challenge in a few minutes, I guarantee you that the digital one would never be made. And mind, there's 7 of those right there alone by themselves. Not just one, there's 7 of these. There's a fellow who actually gives away free screen paint too also. We'll post his product, there's information right there. I know he has mine for you to make it free yourself. And we'll put the network grade 773 and the slip silver in a challenge. Now, if you're out there making false accusations that your product is pulling up a white level so high you can turn the screen dark, you wouldn't have any problem doing that demonstration, would you? And if you refuse to do it and you ignore it, then we know you lied. We know you lied anyway, because you can't show in one demonstration the screen matching in another one with the same paint that it's not. It doesn't work that way. There we go. See how beautiful that red is? How gorgeous that looks? Yeah. Gray screens are obsolete. Let's see, I want to do, because we're right up on top of the screen, so, you know, this distance at 43, anything should be the pickup, you would think. But even at 4,300 lumens, and our color is at 0, our screens can read it. AK Desired Nature.
Getting that from YouTube.
I'm going to do that colorful demonstration, know which one I like to do.
Is the sophomore story okay? Or a cream-filled slider on that? Yes, sir.
Now, the reason why grays and white screens don't work on venues, and they don't work on venues, you can look at my intro on my YouTube video. We see a church using a 7,000 lumen projector. It's not picking up. You know why? Because if you have a screen that's not ambient light projection, if it's having a hard enough time picking up in the environment with the light, you're going to add an additional 5,000 to 7,000 lumens to the screen. You're going to wash it out even faster, because it can't absorb light. Now, like I said, for anyone, not just one person, who wants to disclaim my Digital One Crystal Screen Paint products and say that, you know, this is all fake, then you're more than welcome to make it and put it against your products. But while you're doing it, don't forget the 2 we asked for: slip silver, micro blend, and network grade 773. Now, what's going to happen if you do that demonstration, you do that challenge, if you match that product in any way whatsoever, if there's not a difference between night and day, you will destroy your business. So you know that. If you ignore it and deny it and don't go anywhere near it, then we know what your product is. That's all I have to do to figure out what you're using at the end of the day, is just launch a challenge. You've already told me already from the door. No way to escape that. You understand? It's an unescapable challenge. That's what it's designed to do. That's why we launch those challenges. We know they're never going to do it. We just want to make sure how far they would go. That's all. If they can accomplish the task. Now, this projector behind me has 3,000 to 1 contrast. That's it. That's all it has. But our black technology, dedicated black Cinemax, will make sure that this projector has a contrast level over 2 million to 1, because the screen is 100% black. We don't have to fabricate through a projector. This is why you got to back it up, people, when you talk it. One of the things they found, like I said, disturbing about that video that that gentleman did, and we call them gentlemen, we try to be polite, there were another gray screen paints up there. Just that one. So that's why we're going to put the challenge out. But until then, the dedicated black Cinemax is the superior and best screen paint for your home theater setup. And by using a gray and white screen, you have basically downgraded your projector. It's pretty cool music. A couple more. Try to make these videos short, people. I really do, but it's just so much you need to see. There is so much you need to see. Now, you watched me in the last demonstration do something called projector swap. You won't see that in a demonstration. You know why? Because I got it on a comfortable machine. That's why. We can swap our projectors in the middle of demonstrations easy. Still get the same reaction no matter what. So I went from a 1,000 lumen projector 17 feet back, dropped it over at 3,600 lumen ultra short throw, same reaction. And then we can crunch the screen at 43 and it still won't even pick up on a gray and white screen. They can't register. Look at our color. Look how beautiful it looks. $270 projector. We can show you our environment. Plenty of light pushing in, no dark shadows, none of that fake nonsense at the end of the day. Can't stand fake environments. A little bit of light squeezing through two little windows. Are you kidding me? I should like my windows pulling at the end of the day. My projector sits 21 feet from my screen. Now keep in mind, what I told you, a screen paint that can gray at that. White, black would be better if a black pulled a high white level, which ours do, to generate a level that high. That's a good thing for a black screen. For a gray screen, that is a complete no-no. That's the last thing you want. A gray screen has to be to generate a high enough contrast level. That's what it has to do. That's the main purpose of a gray screen, not a higher white level. You want a higher white level? Go buy a white screen. A gray screen automatically going to generate a higher white level. It's going to happen automatically because the screen's gray. But that's not the problem. It has to generate a high enough black level. And without the black level, it can't see color. It can't pick up contrast. There's your problem. And then some people feel, because I have a lot of light in my environment, I'll upgrade to a higher lumen count. You just introduce more light to your screen, you're going to wash it out even faster. This is the same theory I'm explaining to you, that the church that you see when they come on my site, you see the intro video, same thing I said to them, 7,000 lumens hitting the white screen, you wash that thing out just like that. Now, the important thing behind black screens have to generate high enough white levels to produce bright enough and beautiful colors and beautiful skin tones. Gray screens have to produce a high enough contrast to pull up better contrast levels, better ambient light rejection technology, and better colors. Having to generate a higher white level is the opposite of what you want it to do. Completely did that demonstration backwards. Now, white surface being the highest white level that we have up here, right? How much better color are you seeing from it? Color is very poor, right? So why would you want to go with a higher white level? The balance, whatever balance was there, is gone now. It's not even there. It's completely gone. So what do you got left? Look at that. It's washed out. 43, 5 feet on the screen. No balance. And by the way, this is the 720p model we're using right now. Let's get us something else here. Let's go over to, I'm going to do this one right here. Eleven years back, we were selling gray screen paint products, and there are people still pushing that stuff. It's old, it's outdated. And the last thing you want on a gray screen is a higher white level. That's the last thing you want. You need contrast. Now, for those of you saying, well, you know, your projector's sitting, that's the whole purpose of the demonstration. Being if we take 4300 lumen venue projector and we stick it right on top of the screen as close as we can, guess what? They still can't see it. That's it. That's a distance throw. That's it. And they can't read it. The screen can't read it. Only our technology can read that. So if you're sitting back 12 feet from the screen at 100 inches, and you're dead, we can do it at 1,000. But if you're at 12 feet back on a gray screen, are you kidding me? And you're running something like under the 43 we're using right now, your picture quality is going to be horrible. Absolutely horrible. And you can't be in the well-lit environment we were sitting in, because again, it's going to be even worse. You got to sit in the dark with that one. And even in the dark, your image is washed out. Because see, that white surface right here, on that white screen over here, picks up an image. Picks up color and everything. On here, picks up nothing. Let's grab ourselves something else. I'm going to go grab this over here. You know where I'm going. And get that heavy contrast, which is very important. Let's go pick up the black levels. For every gray screen out there, why in the world are you showing OLED demonstrations on your screen paint products? Why? OLEDs are designed to pick up a 100% black level. You know why the technology we got coming out in 2024 can take on a TV? It can read 100% black. Generates an insane amount of white light that comes off that screen at the end of the day. But it can go with OLED any day of the week. I can walk into an OLED forum site and say one thing to them. How come you guys don't have projection screens? And here comes a firestorm of insults and why. I don't go near, well, number one, they don't pick up 100% black. What the heck is a gray screen going to do against an OLED? He's right there. I can use mine with the lights on. I don't have to worry about the screen washing. He's got you right there. Even though it costs far more, it's a much more superior piece of technology versus a gray screen. Now, when I walk in there, it's a different story. Well, my screens are 100% black. So I got you there. Colors don't wash out. I got you there. Far more better than gunmetal. Got you there. I can be using fully lit environments. Here from demonstrations outside. Got you there. Try taking that TV outside and watching it. Mine costs far less than yours. My screens are much bigger than yours. When I do 16:9, I do a 16:9 screen, not a 16:9 format, because if you did a 16:9 format in the OLED, how much money that screen would cost you? It'd be super wide. I can switch over to 235.1 if I choose, go to widescreen spectrum. You can't do that. If I want to upgrade size, it won't cost me more money at the end of the day. And I can paint mine down to anywhere I want to, and then you're just stuck there at the end of the day on a wall. I can even drop the ultra short though, 8K, 4K, and 5K if I choose. You'll pay more for that. A lot more. So I can go in there and I can crush them easily. Gray screen can't walk in there. And with that new glass technology, oh my goodness, you have no idea the power I'm going to have when I walk into an OLED form site with a glass screen that can crush one of those screens at 720p versus a 4K OLED, because that's what we're shooting for. Whew, it's lights out after that. Mind you, screens you can generate on this technology, 100 inches. You know how much a 100-inch OLED costs you? Yeah, you do the math. It's a lot of money. Let's go pop over here. That's why, if you get a chance and you call one of these companies that develop, like the P2, Optima, contact the company and talk to them. Ask them why does this projector have a 2 million to 1 contrast? And they'll sit there and say the reason why we put such a high contrast on a projector is so that when they're using them, they haven't heard of us yet, at all, period. So when they're using a gunmetal screen, they can pick up an almost near close enough black level. They don't truly have black, but it's close enough. So that projector is needed in order to achieve that heavy, darker shade of gray, and a gunmetal technology is also needed to achieve that darker level. But those two together cost a lot of money. Now, if someone were to pop in there and say, hey, I saw a fellow in there with a screen that was black, he was generating this, that, and they'll tell you at the end of the day it's a lie. Because no black screen has the ability to generate and see white light. They have to be used in dark environments because the screens are too dark to accept white light, and in a dark environment, they have a better chance of pulling up an image. That's what they're going to tell you. I've had this conversation already before. And the first thing they'll say out of their mouth is, well, you know, if you had that demonstration, back it up, and we send them over something, we don't hear anything from them again. Because they realize that this technology can obsolete their products. No more bragging about a 2 million to 1 contrast if it's not needed. Like a neon and bells and whistles. It's unnecessary. We're at 720p right now. So they depend on the projector's contrast and all the little bells and whistles. So your gray screen or white screen can pick up a somewhat decent image. But keep in mind that 4K was never meant to be used on white and gray screens. 4K were designed for gunmetal technology. That's what it was engineered for. You're not supposed to have your 4K on a light and gray screen or a white screen. It's supposed to be on a darker technology. Because with darker technologies, they produce better contrast and color. And if you have a screen that's designed properly, you can pick up white levels. See that right there? Without that technology that allows that screen to read a white level, that image would come up so dark you couldn't even see it, just like black paint does when we put it against our products. Let's go grab something else to play with. Oh, this is a good one right here. So keep in mind, because my eyes are honed into seeing color, because we used to develop great products when we first started off. That's what I saw in the Black Diamond technology when it laid against my screen. I saw actual color. See that gray screen sitting there, that digital one crystal screen paint sitting right there? Imagine if the technology sitting behind it was a Black Diamond. That's what I saw. That's what made me change my mind and go in a different direction. That's what that Black Diamond did to my technology. Now, we have a technology that's greater than diamond because, again, it goes by contrast. The greater the contrast on the screen, the more expensive it becomes. Keep in mind, if you look at a diamond, actually the diamond doesn't have any, gray screens are what they do, but I know Elite has them. So if you look at Elite screens category, we have a white screen, we have the Cinema Gray, which is gray, Cinema Gray 5D, which is a little bit more darker, and then we have the Dark Star 9, which is a gunmetal dark screen. The Dark Star 9 is $3,000. The rest of them are cheaper because that's the most advanced screen they have. It's the Dark Star 9. It's the darkest. It's the most expensive. So what What I saw that day was something like this, except it was a much darker gray screen. It wasn't black, but this is what it did to my screen paint. And that allowed me to say, you know what? I'm going in the wrong direction. I got to turn around and I got to go in the direction that this technology is going. Because if I don't, years later, this will be me and that will be them. But others chose to ride that outdated wagon till the wheels fell off, trying to convince you that a gray product would, no, it won't do any of that at all, period. Let's go with this one right here.
Cleaning your dog's teeth can be hard, but not with Greenie's dental treats.
I got those cats.
So we got.
I'm so glad we got that diamond sample sheet. I'm so glad. I'm happy I got it. Because that allowed me to see something that day that I didn't see. Technology we had was sufficient. It did exactly what it was designed to do. But change was coming. And when I saw that diamond in my environment, gee, my buddy wasn't joking. I asked him, how was it? Because he tested it first. It's just like having a little TV in your hand. I said, it can't be that good. There's no way in the world. You know what baffled me the most when I first saw the diamond was the fact that I thought the screen was black. Because it's a really, really good dark metal, gunmetal. It's extremely dark. Out of all the gunmetal screens I've tested, the diamond would be the best. I'm not saying that because I'm not trying to get any, because I don't want to do business with them. I don't want to have nothing to do with them at all, period. But I always give credit where credit is due. It is one of the best black gunmetal screens I've ever seen. But, as I said, I thought it was black. And as I'm leaving the watchdog demonstration of the gentleman doing the demonstration with the screen, doing the scrolls and stuff, I thought to myself, how the freak is that possible? How in the world did he get a black surface to see and understand white light? Like, how did he do this? Baffled, it blew my freaking mind away. Couldn't figure out how he did it. And I became obsessed with learning how to do this. Not obsessed with basically trying to tear the man's company down and do dumb stuff at the end of the day that would land me in hot water, maybe in court, and Joe, definitely in court and whatever. To learn from this technology and see how I can use this to benefit myself. What can I learn from this technology? And instead of me spending years of hating these people, no, I spent years of trying to learn from them, to develop better technology, but something that was more affordable for everybody else. And they saw this thing that I was doing, and they reached out to contact me. Now, like I said, I'm not going to go into all that what happened and everything, but the part that drove me to go in this direction of developing darker technology was diamond. But on top of that, consider the fact, or I can say consider the fact a lot, what they did to me drove my passion to destroy them, to design a better technology far than they've ever seen before. That's what drove me at that point right there. There was no hatred for them. I have no hatred for diamond technology. I think they have a beautiful technology. They do it at the end of the day. It's good. But I want to be better than them at the end of the day. And they saw that I was working. Pretty sure they were watching me for a while. I came on every day, pushing. And this guy keeps pushing like this. He's going to figure this stuff out. And now look at us. We have a black technology. In 2024, we'll have technology to even take out TVs. Now, I could have stayed there. If I did, I wouldn't have had that. You know what this credit goes to? It goes to God at the end of the day. Because he's the one that gave me the knowledge to do it. When I saw the diamond and I was very impressed by it, I didn't want gunmetal. I wanted actual black. Because that's what I thought the diamond was when I first saw it. I thought it was black. But seeing the gunmetal, still not disappointed. It's still very good, amazing technology. But I wanted black. And I got it. And it took years to do it. Years to do it. And we got it. I remember the first day, the first video where we got it. And I was on camera calling up my friends, like, we got it. We got a black screen that can read white light. And that's to time, I just kept working to perfect it, work to perfect it, work to perfect it, work to perfect it. Because in my head, the Lord kept coming to me, and He kept giving me more ingredients and more ingredients. If I make it better, if I make it better, if I make it better. Now look where we're at. And I'm blessed to have a partnership coming up pretty soon that is going to be to take our technology to the next level. I'm blessed to be to have a technology now. Next year we'll be competing against TVs. No more projection screens for us side by side. It'll be all TVs. And we'll have a technology that everybody can afford. But coming back down, because we're not there yet, right now, this technology we have here is designed to basically sustain what needs to be done. And for the individuals that are sitting there complaining at the end of the day, your stuff costs too much money, look what my stuff does at the end of the day. How dare you think you're in my category? You're not in my category. Stop it. Literally, sometimes with some of you, I feel like just walking up to you with a big and rolled up piece of newspaper and just smacking you on the nose and spraying you with a water bottle. I don't know what delusional universe you stand on, but you're not in my area. We're testing screens to absorb sunlight. We do demonstrations where we can swap out machines, we can do this and do that, and screens at 250 inches. It wasn't enough for me to do a screen at 80 inches. I wanted to see it at 250 inches. So I built it, put it together. I got so many test demonstrations, more than enough to choke a horse. Because every time I would wake up in the morning, like, oh, we got to do this one, and we got to do that one, we got to do this one. No time to cut corners. Let's go with, I'm trying to get that J and K. Beautiful women 4K, and then we'll go to the J and K.
That from YouTube.
Now, the reason why we're putting the challenge out is because it shows the consumer and everyone, we know they're never going to do it. We know this already. We did slip silver. We knew this was never going to be done. It's just put it out there to show you that they'll never do it. That's all it's designed for. They'll never do it. So I'm going to put a challenge out. This will be the Digital One Crystal Screen Paint. And any gray screen paint, especially ones that are making false claims that they generate these really high white levels, which again, you do not want, because you can see what happens if you do. You're more than welcome to make the Digital One Crystal Screen Paint. Along with that, do a demonstration with the Network Gray and the Micro Blend Slip Silver by Amazon. Now, if you choose not to do it and ignore it, then we already know the truth anyway. It's just to see if you will do it and can do it. But I have no faith in that you will do it. This is what I talk about why I'm not a big fan of the industry. I'm not. Yeah, we maintain contrast in white levels. They can only see white levels. They can't make a contrast. It's called a transition, being able to change. I'll show you one interesting one. Sony 1 hour demonstration. We're not going to do the whole hour. There's something in there I got to show you. This is what you call the transition. So it's in here when they do a transition.
Hey, so what if we have questions about
Keep
our
in mind,
policy?
if red, blue, green, yellow, and all those colors don't pop up in the movie, guess where they won't pop out either.
Hey, Mom.
Not going to pop up in the commercials or anything else. You can't, it's not going to read. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over to I like this section right here because it does a perfect transition. go too far? No, I think we're good. We're good. All right, this is perfect. We're going to start off with nice, beautiful colors first. So what it's going to do is going to go with some nice blue, light colors. It's going to transfer to contrast. From contrast, it's going to transfer to color. A screen has to be to transfer to all of these. You have to do this at 1,000 lumens, ultra short dose, fully lit environments versus black paint versus white paint versus certified. All these tests have to be done. And there's the transition to dark. Now, this little problem right here, it's going to cost you. You have to buy a projector with very high contrast. It's cost you money. You're going to have to be stuck in a dark environment, which you don't want to be. It's going to cost you because you can't see contrast. It's needed when you do a transition. Again, you can't see color. So back to contrast, and we're going to go back into color. Okay, we should be transferring the color pretty soon, right now. Color is also needed for skin tone, it's very important. As you can see, you're not seeing any color. It can't transition. Because you need 100% contrast to transition. For a screen to do a 100% correct transition, it has to be black. You're saying, why? Because you have to pick up 100% contrast. Well, we can't skip that part. You know that, right? That's a part of the whole home theater experience. You have to have 100%. Sorry if I sound a little rude here, but that's how it is. Literally, people will skip that whole section. Oh, we don't need contrast. We need color and white levels. No, you have to have contrast. And the higher your contrast level, the better your color, and the better your ability to be able to pull up and see an image. You need 100% black to do it. You would just skip that entire part altogether. So I guess the 2 million to 1 contrast is stuck in your projector was a mistake. It wasn't needed to begin with. They just put it on there like, let's just stick it on there and charge you more for it. It's the reason why they have it on there. Contrast adds more depth, it adds more detail to your image, it adds a more refined image. This is why when you use 720p's, they don't come out looking all distorted because the screen is black and it pulls a refined image to the projector. Well, if you do this on a gray screen, well, guess what's going to happen? You're going to have basically a distorted image. White screen, distorted image. Guess what else gets canceled out on a black screen? The screen door effect. Because the screen door effect is black, isn't it? That screen door is black, well, that screen is black also too. It can camouflage it. Gray and white screen, boom, pick up. Did you know that? Benefits of black technology. If you're doing 235.1, guess what happens if you do 235.1 on a gray screen? You get these little bars at the top and the bottom. If you do it on a screen that's 16:9 and you're using a 235.1 format, what's going to happen is you're going to get these gray bars. You're going to have the black frame and a gray bar. You got that whole zebra effect going off on your screen. In order to eliminate that, Silver Ticket has these curtains that you can put across your screen to make it look like you have a solid black image all the way across. Yeah. Black technology isn't that issue. This size screen here, I can put any size aspect ratio in here and always have a border around it no matter what. So I can see reds, blue, green, yellow, all that, not picking up. Contrast doesn't pick up. Can't do the proper transition at all, period. This is why you're stuck in the dark, because the screen doesn't register. Let's run that J&K. J&K 4K demonstrations. Just want to show you that transition. Track down one of the videos. Gotta be in this somewhere. Alright, we have to put it in ourselves. Wait. There it is right there.
Castrol Edge is 3 times stronger than a meaningful synthetic. Castrol Edge, better oil for maximum performance.
Barkley Butter Ruffles.
Oh, it's barbecue time.
Nah, Chuck's always been aloof.
Chuck is hungry. He's over there having freaking delusions in front of a machine. You know you're hungry when you start seeing characters on the machine start talking back to you. You're definitely hungry. But it's still a fun commercial. All right, let's grab one here. You're going to get the people like, oh, it must be the IS. We did this on site, literally, on site. Yeah. Keep on making those accusations, you're going to make you part of the tinfoil hat community. Sitting up on top of a hill waiting for the mothership to come from behind the back of the moon. It's kind of like where you're hitting at with that theory. Batman versus Superman. We're right up on top of the screen with 4,300 lumens. Let's see what pops. Yeah, it doesn't work at all. That's why when you paint a gray or white screen, like a white screen or gray screen, your dedicated theater room, that's a bad idea.
Well, here I am. Bruce, please. I was wrong. You have to listen to.
Oh man, there were so many freaking arguments, discussions over this freaking movie. Unbelievable. I got friends that are Batman fans. I'm not a big Superman fan. I'm more like Thanos. I like the villains. That's my thing. I'm big on the superhero thing. I like all the villains. But anyway, if I was going to choose, I would choose Superman. I mean, come on, people. Batman fans, I understand you're loyal and all. I love that about you guys. I really do. But you have to understand, it's Superman. He's like X-ray vision. He could have just scanned the entire Earth to figure out exactly what his real true identity was. Walked into his freaking lair and boom, he's gone. Seriously. My goodness. So, no, it would have been like, it'd have been so easy. It would have been funny. It's funny how they did part 2 and how Flash was flying around him and he was just staring at him, watching him the entire time. Like, dude, you are not that fast at the end of the day. You know, you took all of them to try to take down that. Y'all just don't get it, man. Y'all don't get it. Even when he was in there fighting, I forgot the villain's name. He was in there rumbling with that villain, and Superman like, okay, I gotta go save somebody. Go back. I'll be back. Come back. Beat the crap. Like, come back. They still struggling with him. Like, oh, really? I haven't finished this already. It should have been done by now. Hey, man, come on now. Yeah. And on top of that, Superman got immortality. You know what's funny? Another one somebody bought one up. Santa Claus. You know Santa Claus, they made him actually as a comic book. They made him an actual superhero. Santa Claus has powers. He has immortality. He has telecommunications, teleportation, there's some other stuff he has too. But he could be a superhero. He has time travel. Insane strength. Yeah. Someone, look it up. Someone actually made a superhero out of him. All right, let's get to something else real quick so we ain't killing time here. Let me see. Samsung 4K demonstrations.
Getting that from YouTube.
I really thought about that. Yeah, he has. I want to do this Coca-Cola one. That's a big cookie. Oh.
Crunchy cookie M&M's.
Remember those 3 villains and Superman? Okay, I'll tell off his name. Okay, I can't remember his name. But anyway, you know what I'm talking about. I think it was Superman 2. It was. When they had the guys they trapped in that prison and they got out and they landed on Earth and they started wreaking chaos. What would a Batman did in that situation? It would have been interesting to watch to see what the outcome would have been. Or Batman versus Thanos. I would have loved to see that right there. The Batman fans are getting upset like, ah! He does not have powers. Got some cool toys, I give him that. But when you really think about it, look at Tony Stark. He builds his own stuff. He actually builds his own tech at the end of the day. The Hulkbuster, he built all that stuff. The machines actually built the stuff, but he actually built the machines and programmed to do all that stuff. That's a big difference right there. But again, you're talking about people who have superpowers versus people that don't. They should have something with people without superpowers versus people without superpowers. I would love to see what Tony Stark and Batman, how that would end up. That would be a good movie right there, to tell you the truth. Can't put Bruce Banner in there because he turns into the Hulk, so that would be interesting to see something like that. I was laughing. I don't know if you watched it on. We're past this. We've done this to death. What was it? What we saw? I'm trying to remember what I saw. No, this is guy who does. It's a lot of cursing and everything, but this guy does these superheroes, and he does it where they're really like hood. At the end of the day, it's hilarious to watch. But anyway, what was it? Superman and Batman got into an argument, and Superman made a statement that I will go to Gotham and kill all your freaking your villains, so you'll have nothing to do. Like that fast, like it's pretty crazy. But anyway, let's go to this right here. And what else I want to get real quick? Because this is not going to show either on the 2 screens. Are we over past time? Almost there. Yeah, when I start talking like that, it's pretty much already nothing more. We've done these dozens of times, but it just shows you that a gray screen is obsolete. White screen is definitely obsolete. And if someone's bragging about having a higher white level, really want to go there? White screen. It's contrast you need to brag about. Well, black screens brag about contrast and white levels, but they should be bragging about white level. Contrast levels because it can automatically generate that from day one. They have to brag about the white levels. Gray screens have to brag about contrast. Right here. Talking about a gray screen with a high white level, you failed. Now, if you watched the demonstration and you saw with the food commercial, Did you notice he didn't start from the very beginning where the black screen pops up and it starts counting it down when the demonstration pops on? Did you notice there were no contrast demonstrations ever showed in any of the demonstrations? Because the dominant product would have been the darker product. If that gray screen was able to blend in and match that darker surface with contrast, white levels, and all that, yeah, he'd have had an amazing product right there. But it can't do that. I made a statement that if any gray screen had the ability to generate a contrast level so high that it can blend in or beat a gunmetal technology, take out our black technology, you would have a pretty good product on your hands. You don't want a higher white level, you want a higher contrast. Black technology, we already had contrast locked. We need higher white levels when we develop our technology. We're not worried about contrast, we're already there. Oh, let's do some football. Football highlights.
Getting that from YouTube.
We did best catches. We did best catches. Okay, they got some good stuff on there.
In 18 years, Grant Gill will become president of all elections. That's why he's preparing for it now, with health tips and wellness tools from AARP to help make sure his health lives as long as he does. The younger you are, the more you need AARP.
DirecTV Sports Central gives you access.
Jones, step, dials up, deep.
There you go.
Oh, what a catch! Nelson Aguilar! Spectacular! Touchdown!
Watching the game this year? I'm pretty sure you all are. How are you going to do it? Going to do it on a washed out screen? We can do it with our technology. A 4300 lumens, a gray and white screen can't read it. And if you're bragging about white levels, which this is a white surface right here, you do not want to have.
Makes this quick. The 13, the quarter pressure game. Garoppolo throws to use check. Putting the toes down. All time.
All right, people. I hope you enjoyed the video demonstration. I'll put that challenge up real quick. Keep in mind, we don't expect for anybody to do the challenge. We just don't. We're just going to put up the share at the end of the day that if people can prove and back up their products, you'll see the demonstrations. If not, it'll sit there just like all the rest of them, unattained to, ignored, as they usually do. That's why they're put up. So in that challenge we're going to put up is basically the digital and crystal screen paint free mixed product. You can make it for yourself if you want, but you see the outcome versus our technology. That's why we gave it away for free. We'll have the network gray, has to be included in there, and the slip silver. For the individual who sat there and made the statement about how his gray screen pulls up a high white level, again, bad idea to have that statement. But if it did that against any gray paint, then you should have no problem going against this free product and the slip silver and network gray all over again. All right, people, got to go, and God bless.
Good.